Where did the basic salsa stepping pattern that we use today come from? Is it based on an authentic dance from Latin America, or did someone else invent it? Well, in this video, we'll answer that question. But first, welcome back to Salsa Goals, where once again, we break down salsa music and dance concepts so that you can build up a strong foundation on the dance floor. So, if you haven't already, please subscribe and ring that bell so you can be kept up to date with all the latest videos from Salsa Goals. And be sure to stay tuned until the end of this video for a special bonus. Now, there are various styles of salsa dancing around the world, but many of them use a basic stepping sequence where the dancer takes 6 alternating steps in either a forward and backward direction like this. Though many are taught this basic footwork when they first learn to dance salsa, they might not know where the pattern originally comes from or how it has changed over time. However, that basic stepping pattern actually comes from the dance of the Cuban son.
El son de Cuba traigo yo, apúrense que el son llegó.
The Cuban son is a musical style that really became popular in the first half of the 20th century and is arguably the most important ancestor of modern-day salsa music. And while there were various styles of son, it appears that the version known as son montuno forms a major rhythmic foundation for much of today's salsa music. And just like the Cuban son is a major component of salsa music, it was also the initial basis for salsa dancing, especially when it comes to the stepping pattern. In fact, the basic footwork sequence and timing that we still use today pretty much comes directly from the Cuban son. So check out the link at the top of the screen to see what the dance of the Cuban son looked like. Now, there are 2 aspects of the stepping pattern that we need to consider. 1, footwork direction, and 2, footwork timing. So let's start with the subject of footwork direction. The basic stepping sequence of the Cuban son was a side-to-side step that looked like this. So how do we get from that to today's salsa dancing pattern? Well, we still use the same sequence of steps that they did. In other words, the dancers took 3 alternating steps to one side and then 3 alternating steps to the other side. The main difference between then and now is the direction that we travel in. Instead of mainly moving from side to side like they used to do, we now move forward and backward. But why is that? Well, the basic stepping pattern of the Cuban son was a linear side-to-side pattern most of the time, but they did occasionally take that stepping pattern in a forward to backwards direction, much like today's salsa dancers. When the Cuban mambo musical rhythm became popular in New York City's Palladium Ballroom around 1948, many loved to dance to it. However, although the music was mambo, the dance used for it was actually based on the dance of the Cuban son. But instead of using the main side-to-side stepping pattern, the New York City mambo dancers focused on the forward and backward variation instead. Since modern linear salsa dancing styles are based on that Palladium-era mambo dancing style, today's basic linear salsa stepping pattern also uses a forward and backward direction. So hopefully, that explains where the shape of today's basic salsa stepping pattern comes from and how it's changed over time. But what about the footwork timing that many salsa dancers use today? Where did that come from? Well, stay tuned for the second part of this video series because things are about to get really interesting, especially when it comes to New York style on-2 salsa timing. So if you enjoyed the information in this video, please be sure to give it a like and leave a comment below. But wait! Before we sign off, here's that special bonus. If you really want to be an informed, knowledgeable linear salsa dancer, then it's important to understand the history and the development of salsa dancing in the United States. And a great source of information is the book Spinning Mambo into Salsa by Juliet McMains. This is a comprehensive resource that explains the development of salsa dancing styles in the United States. So please check out the link in the video description for more information. That's going to do it for now, but be on the lookout for the next chapter in this video series. And until next time, stay safe, stay connected to the music, and most importantly, keep dancing salsa.